Hello and welcome to Q&A with C&A. I'm Kyle Schwartz, and my guest today is Michelle Balderson, who is also on our administrative team here at Alliance High School, but also, Alliance City Schools, and also on the board. And so it's really great to have you sharing both your responsibilities with us today. So before we get started on what you do with C&A, tell us a little bit about your background, where you grew up, went to school, and all that type of thing.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm born and raised in Alliance, and I graduated from Alliance High School, proud aviator, class of '87. From there, I did some undergraduate work at Kent State, and that's where I acquired my Bachelor's of Arts in Education. A few years later, I went back to college to Malone University and then acquired my master's degree in school guidance counseling. A few years later, went back to Malone University in educational leadership and then acquired my administrative license. In addition to schooling, I have a wonderful husband of 31 years, Darren, and two children, Brock, who is in accounting, and Bailey, who is in her last semester at the University of Mount Union and currently doing her student teaching in Alliance.
Following in Mom's footsteps.
That's right.
All right, how does it feel to be an alum working back in your school system?
Yeah. So honestly, there's no place I'd rather be. You know, some people ask you that, like, oh, you've been in Alliance, you stay in Alliance. No place I'd rather be. I just feel it's an honor and a privilege to give back. And it's good just because I know history, I know where we currently are, and then where we need to go. You know, some community resources that are available to our families and our students, and then community members. And I know a lot of people. In fact, my husband would joke around, we're just running into Walmart. And he said, this is going to be long because you talk to everybody in there. Yes, but it helps, you know, knowing everyone. I'm now showing my age because second generation, right? So my students' children are now sitting in the classroom.
That's kind of fun, right?
Right.
Why are Alliance City Schools so supportive of C&A and what they do?
Yeah. So we see firsthand the positive effects of the C&A program. So whether it be school-based counseling, preventative services, day services, these positive outcomes, you know, benefit us in the school district, benefit the student and their families. One thing we can say about the C&A staff is that they truly live their vision, and their vision of health, hope, happiness, and opportunity for families and children. This is exhibited by their behaviors and their actions every day. And another program that I really like that they offer is the Triple P. So it's positive parenting classes, programs that they offer. And I was able to attend one last month at the preschool. So they invite preschool families to come in. A child and adolescent staff member will facilitate conversation, and they focus on like one parenting skill. Like, I wish they had this way back when I became a parent. So last month it was like bedtime routine. So it's an opportunity for them to facilitate and give information, but also an opportunity for collaboration with families there that are involved in that program. So I can say, you know, we are definitely proud to be one of the 8 districts that have C&A services. And you know, sometimes you hear people say, well, your program, your organization is only as good as the leader, and we have an effective one. And Joe French, our CEO, he really, his character speaks for itself, and then his competency level and overseeing all of the programs. So
and
we're very
known
fortunate.
Joe for a long time.
Have known him for a long
different
time.
positions, yeah.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
All right, so you are currently here at Alliance the Director of Elementary Education, but you've been in various schools. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I started teaching in 1991, and I was in the classroom for 16 years, some at first grade, some at second grade. And then I was blessed with the opportunity 1 year to go and teach on the University of Mount Union education staff. So they did like a master teacher exchange program for a year. Wonderful experience. From there, I became a reading coach at Rock Hill Elementary, and then switched roles at Rock Hill and became principal at Rock Hill for 6 years. And this is currently my 4th year as Director of Elementary Educator.
Okay, so as director, how does being a board member give you insight into the day-to-day work?
So it really does. So sitting on the board and you know, talking about some issues and mental health issues up on the rise and so forth, it makes me take a step back in my role, because a lot of times in education just focus on academics and growth. But it makes me press that pause button and think about how important it is for a student to be ready to learn. And to be ready to learn, it's, you know, having that mental health, being in a good place, and social-emotional learning as well. So it makes me think about some of the roles that we support, and that of C&A counseling, and then also of care teams. And care teams are so important, and they're in every building in Alliance. And a care team is like a wraparound service that is staffed with school nurse, teachers, administrators. And from this, then we look at maybe some issues that a child or family is experiencing, whether it's behavioral or academic, social emotional, trauma-based, and from there we can refer to C&A. And so then they can do their school-based services, which are wonderful for families and for students. They're discreet, and then they also help, you know, if a parent would have transportation issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Michelle, what do you enjoy most about your role as a C&A board member?
So I enjoy many things, but I would say I really appreciate the collaboration that we have and the teamwork that we share. There are 8 directors and then 8 board members, and we meet monthly, and we work through problem solving and just collaborate with one another, and I really look forward to that.
Okay. All right. So working in the schools and as a board member gives you a unique perspective on the challenges of our students. Does this help you to shape the programs that the agency offers?
It does, you know, especially just being immersed in the environment with students. You see their everyday struggles. You see some signs of depression, trauma, and then some health-related, you know, vaping and things like that. So it certainly does. So when we go back and we talk about these issues that are prevalent now, then we can kind of come together, problem solve, think, is there other things that we can do as an agency to help and support the success of students.
Okay. And this year, C&A moved their offices to Parkway building, and so that helps, I think, with the location. Obviously, is so much better. And for young families, how important is it to have 2 agencies who support the well-being of children in our preschool building?
Yeah, so I think it's extremely important. So giving a plug in for our preschool that's there second to none. Like it's a phenomenal preschool. So I refer to it as, hey, I'm just gonna go like to Disney. It's you know, happiest place on earth, right? And so when you look at it like from that aspect, and then you add 2 new theme parks, and it's all family oriented. So when you look at Spark and you look at how they contribute to the academic readiness for the student and the families with resources they provide, and then you have C&A, who is looking at social emotional well-being of students and families. So together, they're helping form success for the whole child approach, which I love.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the greatest things you hear about Alliance is, you know, all the agencies that come together and help the community, you know, and how we all work together, and
absolutely.
starts at that age, right?
It certainly does.
Starts actually before that, but in the schools it
right.
starts at
right.
that
When we get them, right? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Was there anything else that you wanted to add before we close the program?
Just that we have a fundraising event up and coming, C&A, and it's called our Duck Derby, and it's taking place May 18th from 11 to 1 o'clock at Eastwood Park in Canton, and it's actually what it says. So you can purchase a little rubber duck, and then the lucky duck that wins will have a monetary gift. So if you want to register for that, you can go onto the C&A website and click on the QR code.
And you probably don't have to be there. You can just
Correct.
have
You
your
don't have to be
duck
there.
put into the race for you.
Exactly. Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks,
Thanks for
Sarah.
all you do for Alliance City Schools.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Q&A with C&A. I'm Kyle Schwarz.